yes, 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 yes. Feel incredible!
It's not a cartoon. It's anime. Yes. Welcome to another episode. Yes. Of Animeshun. Yes. 3/4 of the squad is back. Brennan's here.
The best 3/4.
Yeah. Myself. Rob is here. No, bitch ass, hoe ass Ice. In the building? No, he's not coming through the door.
He didn't come through the door. He didn't come through. He's really not here.
Y'all be doing that every time you do that. You talk shit about me. Y'all be like,
We do. Yeah,
like, it's gonna come through. I say it louder to see you gonna come through the door sometimes. I'm like, let's see if he comes through. Let's see if he comes through this time,
man.
Man, Patreon.
Why can't we just love on people, man?
I mean, that is love. That's how us guys show love. We're toxic.
There you go.
It's fuck Rob energy today, and you know it.
I don't know what I did.
Well, anyways, you know what we do on here?
Starting
We do one off. We talk our shit.
On Black History Month, we're gonna
I
start
don't
with the
even
lie.
know what I did.
You don't know what you did?
No.
Do you want me to recap it for you?
Sure, go ahead.
Recap it?
No, like,
Recap
yeah.
it.
Go ahead, recap it.
Brennan's recap.
Yeah,
Go
my
ahead.
recap is this motherfucker. I played against Tony at Super Smash Brothers earlier. I normally play him one time a day on random.
Yeah.
Best 3 out of 5.
Best of 3.
Rob normally sits on the fence and doesn't care. He's just chilling. He doesn't no horse in the race. Today, how did you do, Rob?
I definitely was giving Tony support.
Yeah, during Black History Month.
Well,
You fully supported Tony in all the things during Black History Month, and I was like, "Fuck you, Rob."
I did.
Even
Yeah,
if you want to support Tony in this, you got to support Brennan for this month.
Thank you, Keenan.
Listen,
Wait, hold on, Cameron. How do you feel about that? Do you think I should get supported?
I supported you, Brandon.
listen.
Thank you, Cameron.
I was
Listen,
also
in my
not present.
defense, if Tony needed the support, man. Come on, you were killing.
Are you
he was-
smacking him?
It was
No,
not.
man. It was. Look, we played best 2 out of 5. It took 5 matches.
For him to get one?
No, it took best 2 out of 5. The matches.
Oh,
you
it
had
took-
to win.
They went to game 5.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
but
so he wasn't whipping his
But
ass
you
for
know,
real.
but at the
But
same
you
time,
were also on randoms. Like you were, it was Pac-Man, and you were killing him, and you
Yeah.
were like, "Who you support? Who's your money on, Rob?" I was like, "I don't know. Go get him, Tony."
That is not how that went.
That's
That is
pretty
not-
much
you were
how
like,
it went.
You were like, get him, Tony. And I was just like, don't say like, I don't know. You weren't being subtle about it. You weren't being chill. You were team Tony. And I was just like, shut up, Rob. You could have said nothing.
Well, because it was one of those things where I was just like, Tony needs a little boost right now.
He doesn't
You
want-
don't need shit on Black History Month, Rob.
All right. That's fair.
That's fair. That is fair. I was gonna say you give them the morale of Women's History Month. Do that in March. Do that from then. But you know what we do? We talk our shit one off. Join that Patreon, patreon.com/animeshun, SHUN.
You know, coming for you, Rob.
I see.
Yeah, they're coming for Rob in the chat right now. If you're part of our Patreon, you should know. We get to see you guys chatting to us,
man.
and they're coming for Rob as they should.
I'm not gonna bat 1,000. All right.
Yeah, not during Black History Month, motherfucker. Respect.
All right.
Oh, this is gonna be all episode.
Yeah, I know.
I can't believe he didn't see this coming.
This is my 6th February with Brennan. I know how it goes.
I've had a discussion with Rob before. I was just like some questions that we couldn't ask. I was like, yeah, I was gonna bill you on anyways. Bill some of these questions, especially for Vinland Saga. He's just like, thank you, man. Just thank you, man. So, anyways, Gurren Lagann, episodes 7 through 8, Vinland Saga, episodes 3 through 4. But before that, happy birthday, Rob, man.
Thank you.
Happy
birthday,
to
Rob.
Rob. It is his birthday, man.
I got older.
It's still fuck you energy.
Yeah, I get
And
it.
let me tell you something. Rob literally was the one that put it out there and said, hey, guys, let's stop this shit.
I'm good.
I'm done with the birthdays.
Yep.
Just tell me happy birthdays. I don't want no presents. This is a lot of pressure now.
I love that.
Rob
Fuck
can
this shit.
speak for
No,
himself.
Rob,
You can get me presents.
Look, my birthday.
Cancel those cake and presents.
My birthday's the next birthday. I
Yep.
also would like to follow in suit of Rob. Do not give me a goddamn thing.
All right.
Give me a cake at least.
Cam, you can still digest cake, so we will get you cake.
Yeah, just like, well, get the cake for the team. You know what I'm saying?
AKA me.
But yeah, man, it is Rob's birthday. Give us some shout outs in the
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
in the chat for Rob saying. And when you hear this on Friday or whatever, show Rob some love, man. Jump on his Instagram, show him some birthday love or whatever, man. If you in the Instagram group chat, you can show him love in there too.
They did.
Yeah.
They came and gave me my flowers. So
I'm going to
appreciate the
thank
group
Rob's
chat.
parents for giving birth during Black History Month. I think that's an honor to us.
Mama and Papa Rob, man.
Yeah.
Is that how we're saying it? That's
Yeah.
we,
Mama and Papa Rob. His parents are awesome, man.
yeah,
Thank you.
man.
Yeah, they are great.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool to have good parents like that. And like you say, his dad is like kind of sort of his arch nemesis. Even though I'd never seen that action
It's
before,
so
but I'm
funny.
sure that's great.
He's not his arch nemesis.
No.
It's more like his main antagonist. Like No, I mean, but it's not even like he's trying to antagonize Rob. It's more so like his dad has a lot of like excitable energy. I mean, his dad is he's a very excitable
Yeah, he's
person.
great.
He's very talented.
Yeah,
I love him. But Rob doesn't particularly appreciate that energy most of the time.
It depends.
Yeah, I said most. Sometimes you're like, this is cool.
Yeah.
But most of the time you're like, Dad, stop.
Well, it's like if any of our fathers were the same way, we would also feel that way, I'm sure.
The thing for me is like it's like almost like a juxtaposition of how it normally would go. Because normally you'd see like the dad would be getting embarrassed by the overly energetic son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Rob is just over here just like his dad is just like, all over the place, like, and Rob's just like, Dad, just stop. Just like can we just sit down? Can we just have a meal?
Yeah, my mom used to joke she had 2 kids. She had to take care of.
But I'm a huge fan of Rob's dad. Like I love that man.
Yeah, man. So this week, man,
Shout out to
this
Mr.
week
Ponder.
we have no poll because no bitch ass, hoe ass ice. 'Cause honestly, we don't know these. We don't know some of these things.
We'll
And,
double up next week.
Yeah, so this next week, just know you got 2 polls coming, y'all. You get to answer them and put
Next
them out
week's the
there.
Black History a special episode. No whites on that show.
Oh, it's not gonna be, huh?
Huh?
It's not gonna be. Well,
He won't be here, and then we could have Amir do this.
Yeah, you can have a mirror step in.
But I mean, honestly, Cam gets a pass, bro.
okay.
Yeah, we out here.
there you go.
All right, man. So
Cam's like,
anime news, man. Anime news this week. This week you got some anime news. No polls. So what you got for us, Rob?
All right, yeah. So Demon Slayer Season 3 off to a big start. The movie theater release of Demon Slayer Season 3 premiere took place this weekend in Japan, and it was a massive success. The TV/movie combo was even the #1 movie at the Japanese box office, earning 1.15 billion yen, which sounds like a lot. It's about $9 million, which is like, for an anime, for them, that's big.
Yeah.
The full event includes the last 2 episodes of the Entertainment District arc and the first episode of the Sword Village arc, which is an hour long.
Yeah.
And the event will soon go on a tour, a world tour of over 95 countries, including the U.S. And we will all be going to the L.A. Event
Yes.
February 18th.
Yes, we will.
And stream our review of our experience there, what we saw Tuesday, February 21st. So if you're in the Patreon, check in on that. And then, the regular episode will be out on Friday. But so now that the Demon Slayer Season 3 finally starting to hit the streets, what is your current hype level for this arc out of 9,000?
Ooh, out of 9,000. Let Brennan go first because we've already read.
I mean, we know what's
yeah,
happening.
we know what's happening. So
And even Cam, because Cam watches
Cam
Demon
doesn't know
Slayer.
you yet.
Oh,
Where is your hype level at for this season?
in all honesty, right now, it's not very high.
Okay.
I was told this is the slowest arc.
I haven't been told anything about it, but I'll just say that for me, I'm like, until it's here, I don't normally get too excited about things.
Sure.
Because there's always something that could delay it or whatever. So I'm, I'd say I'm at a solid like 7,000.
That's still pretty good.
No, it's
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited. This is one of my favorite. This is what I consider one of the greatest anime of all time already. And from what you spoiling ass hoes have told me,
I
What? What did we spoil?
it might end up being the greatest anime of all time. The thing is, you
You're not
guys,
spoiling anything.
I stand by what I said.
All right.
Okay.
I prefer to know nothing.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
nothing's been spoiled for me. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
But point being is, I really enjoy the show, so I'm excited for it. But I always do my best to temper my expectations.
Yeah. I mean, I think the well, go ahead, Cam, since you're
Oh, what are we? What was it?
Out of
What's your
9,000,
excitement?
excitement
Oh.
level.
out of 9,000.
Your hype level for
Yeah.
Demon Slayer Season 3 out of 9,000.
I mean, I've been waiting for someone new to watch like this, so I'm gonna say like an 8,000, 8,500. Yeah.
8,000. I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like mine's about like a 7,800. Even though I know it's going to happen. We know it's the Miss Pillar's time. The Miss Pillar and Love Pillar's time for them to get down and show out. I mean, these are not spoilers. They already said it. Inosuke and Zenitsu are not in this arc like that at all, right?
No.
Yeah, not in this arc at all. So some people are disappointed about that, but it's like you're gonna still get.
I mean, I think we need some solo time with Tanjiro.
yeah, because he's the main character anyways. He's always with his buddies. You know what I'm saying? It's good for him to get some solo time.
And honestly, they had a little bit less time. Sorry,
No, go ahead.
Less time in kind of the entertainment arc. The end of that, they were definitely there, but like it was definitely Tanjiro.
They were down for a minute.
At the end
Yeah,
of
they
it,
were.
he was the star of the show.
Well, yeah, what's dope about how they kind of stepped back in, both of them. It's like Inosuke came back in, he came through the clutch, and Zetsu came through the clutch. And that's kind of how you want it. It's kind of like you want your side characters to be dope, but then, you want your main character to be the main character at the end of the day. Rob, what about you, man?
I'm right there with you. I'm at about like I was gonna say 7,500. Like just because I do agree. Like this is I don't think spoiling anything of the arcs. This might be one of the ones that I would put towards the bottom, but even still, that's like it's still really great.
Yeah.
Other than maybe some of the
I have a
beginning
question.
stuff.
The first arc or this arc?
See, that's where I was just about to say. This is probably this is better than that because like in the first arc you're getting a lot of setup, you're learning the world. This like there's gonna be great shit that happens.
Yeah.
And
But what comes next must be insane. So wait, Mugen Train arc or this?
I would give that to
Ooh, because Mugen Train.
It was super short.
But even if you watch it from the episode part of it, it's like it was slow at times. Like, you know, some people said Mugen Train felt long when they were kind of just dozing off and having those little moments.
I said that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, all right, this arc might not necessarily have a whole bunch of that slowness.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I think it's gonna, and that's what kind of makes me excited about. And that kind of leads me into the next question. I was very happy to hear that the first episode's an hour because, like, even with the
Same,
first, like, the last arc, the Entertainment District arc, like, you didn't really get to the shit for like a few episodes.
Yeah.
Which, like,
It
they got to
definitely
switch
took-
shit
yeah,
up.
time
The
to build
Entertainment
up, for
District arc
sure.
was fucking lit though.
And
Oh, it paid off. At
and
the
it got-
end,
It paid
for
off
sure.
for sure, but it took a second for sure.
But so I mean that's my hype level is at a 7,500 if only because like there's really good stuff that happens, but what comes after this is obviously steals the show
Bro.
in a lot of ways. So
it's you know,
So
my
this is
hero.
going to be a really good setup, and by the end of this season, we're going to be like really wanting to see that next season. I'm assuming.
yeah, it depends on where they decide to end the season.
Yeah,
But like if you go ahead and say what you were about to say because I agree.
I was gonna say like, yeah, if you think my hero's going hard, once this next part of Demon Slayer gets going, bro,
It's crazy.
my hero is going crazy. This shit is going to be
So like
unexplainable.
So let's
fast,
say
like crazy.
my hero is, let's just put it for scale's sake. My hero going as crazy as it's gone, which it just did. Let's call that a 7 out of 10. What are you saying that this is?
It's a 10 out.
It's a 10 out of 10
because they're not slowing down.
because this is the end.
Yeah.
Like,
No, but
what's gonna-
I understand that. So
like-
my point being though is like, would you still, even if this is a 10, would you still say my hero is at a 7 right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
If you're comparing
Fuck.
it to this,
Right, because like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if that's a fair comparison because like because this is still as great as this last bit of My Hero has been. Like that is, I mean, it's a step on the way to get to the end game. Whereas obviously Sword Village, that's what we're talking about. But the arc after that is the end game. Like
Yeah.
so, it's just like shit gets real.
yeah. So I would say you're not going to be able to compare that because you're going to be able to compare the last arc of My Hero, which is what I've been reading in the manga. You're going to be able to compare more of that to Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
And I would still say Demon Slayer will be ahead of that. But what's going on even in My Hero, like I said, there's like 6 fights going on, and it's just literally revolving next fight, back to this fight, going to that fight. It's like it's insane too. But this shit here, bro, it's not going to stop. It's
Yeah.
not going to stop. And I'm telling you, it's a hard time for these motherfuckers, man. It's not going to be easy for anybody in this bitch. Anybody.
And getting back to the Sword Village arc, I mean, I'd be interested to hear Cam and Brennan if you have answers for this question as well. But like, is Keenan? Can you give a spoiler-free thing that you are looking forward to in this arc? While you think about that, is there anything in particular, Brennan and Cam, that you've seen so far that you're like, oh, I'm interested to see that?
I know
what that
nothing
is.
It's the youngest Sashira is in this one, right?
The Mist Ashira
The
is
Mist Sashira. Yeah, I'm
is-
looking forward to seeing like how the Mist Sashira became the Mist Sashira.
sure.
I think that's gonna be really dope because it's like it's unique as fuck to be able to be like, I'm this young, I'm a Hashira.
Yeah.
You know, and also I'm this young and I decided to fight demons for a living.
Yeah.
Legitimately, probably the most talented sword fighter in the story.
Yeah.
You know, for sure.
So I mean, I guess the spoiler-free thing I would give is because it's not going to be much. It's like I want to see how they're going to animate these fights.
Sure.
That's
because
what
we-
I'm excited for.
Because we saw the level step up from even Mugen Train. Mugen Train, we was like, whoa, this is crazy. And then
And
we
then
saw
like, Entertainment District.
we was like,
on top
this
of
is
that,
top
even
tier,
more
probably
so.
some of the best animation in history
Yeah.
of anime.
Because reading that like fight with the Sound Ashira, it's like it was cool. Like I enjoyed it,
I would
but you wouldn't have been able to see what they were going to do with it.
not like this. I didn't expect it to be that level of animation.
Yeah.
And it made me kind of respect the Sound of Shira a lot more, to be honest. But then even so now when the Mr. Shira shows up and they fight now, I feel like they're going to take this, even if we remember it being like, oh, the fight was a solid fight. It was a pretty good fight. Animation-wise, he going to get busy.
Yeah.
He's going to get busy, and it's going to be animated beautifully.
Yeah,
And so I'm excited to see how they're going to even do like his stuff, like when it comes to like how they're going to animate it.
that'd be
I
cool. And the Love Fish Shearers stuff will be interesting to see what
It
they,
is,
what
it
they
is
do with her
gonna be.
too. Because all this year are dope. I mean, that's what we've always said. Like, you really can't. There's no wrong answer when you say you're picking a favorite.
Yeah.
And like to be fair, The Mist is my favorite, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing
Yep.
him in action. But also, I know people have been somewhat disappointed hearing that Zenitsu and Inosuke are not in this arc, but somebody that I'm looking forward to spending some time with is Genya, who's the other Demon Slayer that was part of their class. And we're finally get to spend some time with him and find out what he's about and what he can do. And it's a different level. So
Yeah.
that's going to be really interesting to see on screen as well. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking forward to.
He's gonna. It's like this is so exciting, but then what's happening next? It's just like, and that ain't gonna be done until like 2024, 2025. But like, god damn, bro, y'all just. I just wish you read the manga, man. I'm gonna say something. But go ahead. What we got next?
All right, so going into the next story, Blizzard announces an Overwatch collab with One Punch Man. Blizzard put out a trailer for the upcoming third competitive season for their free-to-play game Overwatch 2. And as part of the trailer, they included an announcement for a crossover with One Punch Man running from March 6th to April 7th. In the trailer, they showed a cosmetic skin for the character Doomfist, with him crossed over with the usual yellow Saitama garb, which is fitting. Considering even in this first-person shooter game, Doomfist is pretty much just a dude that punches the shit out of you. So if you're going to have a One Punch Man in the game, that's the guy. The One Punch Man skin is the only thing they've announced so far. They plan to release multiple skins, both general and legendary, along with other cosmetics for their large cast of characters. Have any of you guys played Overwatch at all?
I've always wanted to play, but I didn't. I feel like every time I got the system, like I never had the system to play it. It's just like, all right, I have to buy the system to play just this game. I was like, all right.
I think it's on everything now.
It's on Switch now too.
I think Overwatch 2 is on Switch, and I
okay.
believe it's cross-platform. You played it all, Brendan?
No, I have not played Overwatch. I know about Overwatch. I haven't played it though.
Yeah. Cam, have you ever played it all?
I have not. No.
Yeah.
You know, you played it, right?
I played a fair amount, like especially Overwatch 1. I played a good amount because I was going to ask who you guys mained if you played it all, but if you haven't, you haven't mained anybody. But I will say Zenyatta's my guy. He's a healer. He's like a dope like Zen Buddhist robot dude that can deal out healing and like debuffs and buffs. He's really cool. I haven't really played a lot of Overwatch 2, but if you're ever interested in it, I would say check it out because Overwatch 2 is free to play. You don't need to pay anything. It's literally just like if you want cosmetics, you can pay for that.
Oh, yeah,
So-
it says free right here. Then I guess the digital watch point pack is $39 for Switch.
Yeah, that's probably just like, oh, you get like in-game currency to buy like skins and legendary. Like it's literally all like it's not a pay-to-win thing. Like all you can buy is cosmetics. So that could be it. So you can just trick out your guy to make him look cool. But that going on to the next question, between Fortnite, they had a Naruto and Dragon Ball crossover, Call of Duty Attack on Titan crossover, and now this Overwatch thing. We've seen a few of these video game anime collabs. What would be your dream video game anime mashup? You want to see Kuroko no Basket in 2K? You want to play?
You know what?
If they put Kuroko's team in 2K, that'd actually be pretty fun.
3-pointer.
Yeah.
That'd actually be nice. You know, he's shooting from half court.
The
just-
Legendary 5.
Oh man,
That
Damn.
would be fun. Just because like all their stats for like one stat category would be 100%.
Yes.
And like their others would be 0.
Yeah.
Like Kuroko's got 0
shooting.
shooting, but like assist is just legendary. He's got all the legendary purple like assist badges.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fucking good one actually, Kuroko. Even though being a fan of that or not, it's just whatever. But it's just like that'll still be just fun.
Even like Blue Lock in FIFA, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
I got some.
What you got, Brendan?
Well, first and foremost, one of them has already actually happened.
Oh, okay. What you got?
Dragon Ball Z Fighters. So that's like
Yeah.
Street Fighter and Dragon Ball Z, put together, like Marvel's
Yeah.
Capcom 2, and that game is one of the greatest fighting games of all time.
It's really
and
good.
it has the
Yeah.
visuals, it has the balance, it has everything. So for me, it's like that was already like fighting game. Imagine your best fighting game and Dragon Ball Z put together in a game, and it's just like this is incredible, and it's Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Super as well. So I'm all in on that. But if I was to pick one other one to do, I would actually say taking Rockstar, specifically the people who worked on Red Dead Redemption 2, I would take them and then put them with the Demon Slayer world. Like how much fun would that, or like Ghost of Tsushima, like all three of them together.
Ghost of Tsushima and
But can you
Demon
imagine
Slayer
that?
would be insane.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like Ghost of Tsushima or like Red, like that
Yeah.
kind of thing. That would just be insane because the problem being is like right now there are Demon Slayer games out right now, but y'all know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Did you play one of them?
I played
too?
it. It's not bad. It's actually
but it's
good.
not. But I'm saying, but it's not like Ghost of Tsushima or like Red
It's
Dead
not because
Redemption.
I would say the only thing they have to do is like they're just slowly bringing out stuff because the show is so behind that it's just like there's all right. I beat the game pretty quickly, and then I think they just added Mugen. No, wait, they just. Yeah, I think they just added Mugen Train not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. So it's just like it's so behind that you got to kind of wait till everything starts to unravel. Then the game will be dope. Like probably 3 years down the line or something.
Well,
like
the fun thing about video games is that you can expand on the world, though. So for me, it's like, all right, the Mugen Train arc came out, but it's like, all right, like each car should have its own demon. You know what I'm saying? That's not.
They have stuff like that. There's other side demons that we don't ever.
Yeah, so it's like a bunch of like mini bosses and side demons and stuff. Because it's like there's just like that show has so much space open for creativity because they brand each demon to have powers that are associated with things that you already recognize. You know.
Yeah.
So it's just like as a video game creator or creative in that space, I would go crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, it's the microphone demon, like whatever. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like just whatever. Just make it so they're hard. You know what I'm saying? Make it so it's hard. Make it so it's fun. Make it so that the game is balanced and it's gonna be great. And I don't feel like I've ever played like there has never been a video game that I have played from a show before that felt like this is the shit besides Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
Yeah.
Like, just give me examples from before. It's just like, as a kid growing up, it's like, oh man, this new blah, blah, blah. The closest it came to was like Ninja Turtles. Those are the only games that even got close.
The little side games, whatever.
Yeah, I was just like Ninja Power Stone, Hyperstone, and stuff like that. But like, they didn't even really match the show. It's like they were like, the video game creators, like, we're just gonna make up a whole universe
Right.
Yeah.
and then just put the Ninja Turtles in it because that's what we're gonna do. But they technically took the Double Dragon engine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just did that. It was like, this game's already made. Let's just change the skins and make different bosses.
Double Dragon and Toads. Remember that?
Battletoads?
Battletoads?
Fuck yeah.
Battletoads Double Dragon. That was one of the greatest.
That was a good one.
That was a really good one.
Yeah.
But point being though is like when you think about like, oh man, this is like my favorite show, and you know, video game comes out, it almost always is trash.
Yeah.
And so if I had something on the level of Red Dead Redemption 2 or Ghost of Tsushima associated with one of my favorite anime, even if it's Jujutsu Kaisen, you know, or Demon Slayer, you know, or whatever, or My Hero Academia, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. Anarchist had a good suggestion. Give me a Full Metal Alchemist Elden Ring mashup would be cool. I'd love to see that, or like a Skyrim, like you can level up the different trees of alchemy you're working on, like you can main in like flame alchemy or like stone alchemy or whatever. Just
Oh man,
like,
I'll be the what's his name?
oh yeah, Mustang.
Yeah, I'd be Mustang all day.
Yeah.
He had the most fun alchemy out of everybody.
Of course.
He did.
He definitely did. You want me to go?
Yeah.
I
got?
mean, I was trying to think of something, different ones, but I mean, this would be kind of fun to me, anyways. Going back to Grand Theft Auto, I would like to see, you know, Cowboy Bebop Spike in there, just Spike, nobody
that'd be
else, just him in there, just grabbing people, take out their cars. You know, he's already a gunslinger in a sense. You know, now you give him machine guns, bazookas, and shit like that would be
Now
hilarious.
you got
I feel like you
starships
could do
now
Jet
too.
Black. Jet
Yeah.
Black would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jet Black too.
Yeah, it's Black History Month, bro.
Yeah, no Jet Black in there. Yeah, you could have the ships in there. You can steal a ship, bro. That would be dope as hell.
That would be pretty dope.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that would be mine. A Cowboy Bebop and Grand Theft Auto kind of mesh.
Yeah, cool. All right, well that's our anime news.
But what's yours?
Oh, 2K.
Into
Kuroko,
Kuroko?
yeah.
That was yours, right?
Yeah,
Man, fuck you, Rob.
that'd be fun.
Robin is like, all right, cool. Yeah, I got myself out the way.
That'd be ridiculous. No, I actually had one. Like I was thinking, like a Mortal Kombat, like Demon Slayer thing would be cool. Like if you could just like they had like a pack for like, oh now you can fight Sub-Zero against Rengoku. That'd be pretty dope.
Oh,
With
yeah,
all the
yeah,
fatalities for the different Shira and demons would be nuts.
That would be
Bleach.
dopest.
Bleach would be,
Bleach, Mortal Kombat would be
or like
crazy.
Soul Calibur because like they all
Man,
had
fuck
weapons
Soul
or
Calibur.
whatever.
I hate Soul Calibur.
Oh man, no,
I
that was fun
wasn't
stuff.
a fan of Soul Calibur.
I
Soul
love
Calibur
Soul
is the
Calibur.
worst.
That
That's one of my
Virtual
least-
Fighter, I was just like,
Yeah, because the thing, I hate those games because you could literally take like a primate and just be like, here's a controller, and they're just like beating on the controller.
Oh, yeah.
and they could beat anybody.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's
fun.
great.
That's fun in an
You
extent.
can't do that in like balanced fighting games though. So it's like Super Smash
fair.
Brothers or even
For
Dragon
sure
Ball
you
Z
can,
Fighters.
yeah.
You can't just smash the controller and win. You're gonna get.
I thought
destroyed.
that, and then I played some Dragon Ball Z games. And people would just like show up and just smash buttons.
You can
Go
against
ridiculous.
decent people. When you fight against people that are really fucking good, you can't button smash.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your ass whooped quickly. That's how I was button smashing before and Marvel vs. Capcom, and then I had to learn how to play for real because I was getting just demolished by this one kid at school.
Oh, for sure.
And I was like, fuck. All right, so that's the end of the anime news. Let's jump into we want to do Vinland Saga first.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Vinland Saga first, episodes 3 through 4. Rob's recap.
So, some hired guards, referred to as guests, Fox and Badger, take Olmar back to their camp. They get him loaded up on ale. Olmar starts talking shit about what a great fighter he is, but Fox quickly puts him on his ass and tells him he has a lot to learn. Omar starts crying in the dirt, knowing he's pathetic. Told you these guys sucked. But Fox tells him that he just needs to experience what it is to fight and kill. And luckily for him, he has a whole staff on his farm that he can kill with impunity. The next morning, as Einar stretches, Thorfinn begins screaming in his sleep. Einar wakes him up, goes to get some water, and runs into the girl he was fawning over in an earlier episode. She introduces herself as Arnheid, and much to Einar and my surprise, she is not Ketil's daughter, but his personal maid and another slave working on the farm. Best of all for Einar, she tells him he has a pleasant face, and his heart nearly explodes in his chest. Yeah. But the good times do not last long, however, as Fox and Badger soon appear to tell Thorfinn and Einar that they are needed back at their camp. On their way to the camp, Thorfinn's spider senses activates, and he tells Einar, hey, keep an eye out for danger. Sure enough, once they arrive, Einar is put in front of Omar, and they tell the young man to kill him. Omar hesitates, though, scared to go through with it, and Einar just takes the opportunity to tackle him to the ground, tells Thorfinn go run for help, but the other guards just keep him from leaving. Elsewhere on the farm, as the leader
Not
of the...
really though. They got he didn't really give a fuck to leave.
No, he was just standing there.
Yeah.
Elsewhere on the farm, though, the leader of the guard, Snake, wakes up, realizing he has no breakfast, heads back to the camp. At the camp, the guards wrestle Einar off of Omar, but Fox takes exception to Thorfinn's attitude, thinks he's playing tough. Thorfinn tells him, I'm just not afraid to die, man. I don't really give a fuck. Fox decides to put that to the test. Snake rides up into camp. He sees Thorfinn standing calmly as Fox slashes him across his body, face, even takes off a piece of his ear. But all Thorfinn says over all these years, he can't think of one good reason to be alive. So fucking kill me, fam. I don't care. Fox is about to relieve him of his life when Snake announces his presence. He scolds Fox for his actions and breaks his nose with a punch.
Man.
Snake introduces himself to Thorfinn, but then immediately launches into an attack of his own. In that moment, Thorfinn sees Askeladd in Snake's movements and prompts him to fight back and respond. Everyone is shocked to see how he moves, and Snake admits it was just a test. Clearly, some part of Thorfinn wants to live since he protected himself from the deadly attack. Snake tells his men to bring Einar and Thorfinn back to where they belong and threatens that he will break their jaws if they ever do something like that again. Thorfinn, meanwhile, is shocked at his own will to keep living. At the farm, Peter, we'll go Petar. Heals up Thorfinn, gives him new clothes, and again, Einar is surprised at how well Heath and Thorfinn are treated. Petar says that he was able to prepare since Arnheid warned him that the guests were making trouble, and Einar just silently thanks her. Healing done, Thorfinn goes back to work, and Einar follows after. As he watches his partner cut down trees, after seeing how well he fights, Einar starts asking him some more pointed questions about his past. Like, hey, did you go to war? Did you kill people? How many people did you kill? Thorfinn is honest. He's just like, hey, I was part of the Viking raids in England. I have absolutely no idea how many people I killed because it was a lot. It was a lot.
As a kid too.
It was a lot. That night, as Thorfinn has nightmares of all the destruction he's caused and the lives he's taken, Einar creeps over towards him and puts his hand around his neck. He can't bring himself to kill Thorfinn, though, and when he starts screaming in his sleep, he wakes him again. Thorfinn asks him, why you keep helping me after all I'm responsible for, and Einar stands and tells him, you're wrong about there not being anything good in life. All right, you just eating, shitting, and sleeping, and being around those you love is enough. And he says that they still have a chance to do that, and that they should continue to try to live for it. And he says that it's not like Thorfinn is the one that killed his family. It's not like he's the only one who suffered. So, quit acting like the world revolves around you, man. And Thorfinn thanks him, and they return to sleep. And somewhere else on that night, a mysterious figure rides a horse through a moonlit graveyard. And when they turn to camera, we see it is an older Prince Canute. So we will see what he's been up to in these years.
Bitch Canute is back. Thank you, Rob, as a recap as always.
Rob, you did a great job on that.
Yeah, that was quick. I didn't no fluff in there, nothing, man.
Straight to it.
Straight to the business. All right, so let's get into these questions of Vinland Saga Season 2, Episodes 3 and 4. So as Rob said, Thorfinn pretty much has no will to live at one point, and he doesn't care. Being alive means nothing to him. What are two things for you that you're grateful for to actually be alive? Or what are two things that you're grateful about life about? Me, easy, of course, family. Family is, an easy go-to. Appreciate just, having family. I thought about death a lot. I had thought about it a lot, especially what's been going on the past, I feel like 7-8 years in my life that I've seen so much of it. It makes you kind of think about your own this life mortality and stuff like that. But, I still think about my family. I think about, if I did leave, how would they feel? So I kind of it could be even a little selfish. But also, too, just I don't know. I'm excited about the steps in my career that I've been making. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited about like just living and getting to that potential and hitting those different things. You know what I'm saying? At first, I had a point in time where I was just like, bro, I'm gonna be at Home Depot for the rest of my life. I'm never gonna get out of here. I'm gonna be here.
I know that feeling.
For the rest of my fucking life, and I'm scared to death of this shit. And then, you know, you keep going and you make strides and you're like, all right, cool. I can kind of start to see more light at the end of that tunnel to where it's going to be positive, you know? So, yeah. Rob?
Yeah, I mean, right off the top, you've said those things. Friends, family, obviously, those are the biggest things. You know, have a supportive family, have supportive friends like you guys. But another thing is even just to be able to work here in a place like this, like, you know, to work with cool people, my friends, and get to work on cool projects like this is I'm very grateful for that, because of exactly like you said, I've worked those sort of jobs too, and it's just like you got to do what you got to do to, you know, keep the bank account going, keep the roof over your head. But like, you know, there were times where I'm just like, man, I don't want to be doing this all the time. I don't want to be doing this forever. So, and even then, moving out to Hollywood and trying this out, like there's some ugly shit where you're just like, man, I don't even know if I like this anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Real shit.
But being able to come here and work on this cool stuff is, I'm very grateful for that.
Brennan.
I'm sorry, I just got emotional from what Rob just said.
Well, because I mean, we spend a lot of our time at work, and like work can either be the worst part of your life or the best part.
Yeah.
And it's just like when you find a job that you kind of like love being around the people here. Like I like coming into work. You know what I'm saying? It's less, even though you might go through stress, it's not as stressful as you would at a job that you fucking hate. On top of the stress that they're giving you. So I mean, I feel you, Rob. I'm 100% with you. Yeah. And Brandon's probably just like, we made that kind of feel for you, Rob.
Well, I mean, the thing is that I was gonna say something along those lines too. It's like I am in a really I think about this a lot. It's just like how many people in history have been able to say, like, I work with my best friends every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I make my living. That's how I provide for my family. It's like I work with my best friends. So that is something that is to very much so be grateful for, because it's only time I'm spending, most of the time I'm spending with people is with people who I choose to spend with, instead of when you get a job somewhere, you don't get to choose the people you're spending it with for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you're just around whoever you're around, which we've all experienced. The other thing I was going to say is the quality of life that I live. And for me, this is like a micro and a macro kind of thing to say. Quality of life, you know, being like the health that I have, but also that, you know, I live in this age, like where I don't live in the 1920s or the 1800s where I'm a fucking slave. And, you know, like we do have medical science, and we do have running water that's clean. We do have the internet. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like for me, it's like I think about like the average person in the United States right now lives a life that is a baseline better than the kings would live from even like 200 years ago.
I know, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have, like, I heard an argument that somebody said that, you know, it's like we have, our technology has all turned us into super beings and we just don't see it. To be able to remotely communicate with every other person on the planet whenever you so choose, to be able to move at a speed faster than the fastest land mammal on a consistent basis and fly through the skies faster than any bird could ever fly. You know, it's like we all now have super being powers because we can all do the things that nothing on this planet can naturally do.
Right.
And so for me, I'm like looking at that and saying like, wow, like for us, it's so overstood to where we are and where we grew up in that it's like, it's not even there. We don't even pay attention to it. Like, oh yeah, you know, like, can you imagine you go home right now, you turn on the sink and nothing comes out?
It's crazy, dude. And like, not to take away from your point, but even I don't know if you guys have been watching Last of Us, but that's a big part of the show. Is like, it's 20 years after the world ended, and they're looking around at like, look at the shit we used to have. And he's talking with a character that is this young girl that's grown up in this world. And she's like, what was it like to be on a plane?
Yeah.
And man.
And he's like, it wasn't that great. We all got to like, you crammed in there with a bunch of strangers. It kind of sucked. She's like, you got to fly, dude. Like, fuck you. You know?
And that's the thing, we're kind of spoiled with a lot of stuff. Because like, I mean, what you're saying is we're spoiled with a lot of shit.
We're super spoiled. I mean, I was on Rob Hayes, another comedian's podcast, and he said like I studied political science, and it was funny because he did too, which we found out in this conversation. But I even posted it on my page. He said along the lines like, I don't trust the government, which is a really strong sentiment within the black community for a lot of really good reasons. But it's also like an overarching statement that doesn't make sense if you understand what you're saying. Because if you understand what the government actually is, then to say I don't trust the government means like, all right, well, you know, like I was like, so do you stop at stoplights? You know what I'm saying? Do you take showers in the water? Like, and like that comes out of there because like if you don't trust the government, then you need to go source your own water and put that into a shower. You need to find your own way to get around and traverse the land that doesn't include the traffic laws.
Yeah, I think it's definitely stated when we say that. I think we know what it means.
But we do and we don't,
And
because a lot of
then-
people don't. But that's my point being is a lot of people don't associate the things that we take for granted that we don't even see anymore as not part of what the government has done and is doing. And so for me, I started that statement off by saying there's a lot of justification for that sentiment.
Yeah.
But to be able to broaden it and say it in that way doesn't necessarily make sense to someone who understands all the things the government actually does in our everyday lives. And so for me, I kind of went off on him about it, but it wasn't so much to be like, you're wrong, more so to educate and say, look, man, you should be more aware of actually what the things that we have that are going on that have nothing to do with race. You know what I'm saying? Like there's streets and you know what I'm saying? We have streets and there's grocery stores that have food and you know what I'm saying? It's like, these are things that have nothing to do with any of that, but the government put the systems in place to allow these things to relatively be safe for all of us all the time. It's like there's a space of appreciation for that. But a lot of people don't even find it because it's always been that way since before they were born. So for them, like, well, that's what it should be. It's like, no, just because something is doesn't mean that's what it should be. And like to be able to delineate the two is a big deal.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, I'm gonna say that was a long-winded question. All right.
We got there.
Just in case you couldn't see it, he had some
mints and he knocked it
some
off like a
mints on the
fucking
table
child.
and
Like,
I knocked
you ought be like, why do we say bitch ass, hoe ass Brennan? I gotta put my phone away because he might knock that over too.
You might.
Nah, I
And
wouldn't do
then
that
the only
to a
reason
phone.
why he would
I wouldn't
not
do
knock
that-
my
I wouldn't-
computer over is because he knows how expensive this shit is.
I
but
wouldn't do
it's
that
just
to a phone. Like whenever I take
you
your
just
phone,
do it to you did it to my phone plenty of times.
Yeah, I put it on the softest part.
You don't put it. You throw it on the softest.
softest thing.
part.
The softest part of
What
this
are you
room.
talking about, Rob? Next question. This guy literally threw my phone under the couch. It was just like, I place your phone under the couch softly.
Man.
Never. All right. So next question. Do you think Einar or Thorfinn has had the harder story so far, Rob?
Wait,
Man.
Thorfinn or who?
Einar.
Einar,
The
sorry,
other
Einar.
guy that he's with.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because, like, honestly, I was thinking about it, and like, I think it's pretty clear. Thorfinn has seen more shit. He's been through, like, as far as like, he's seen more battles. He's seen more blood. He's certainly done a lot of killing, which Einar has not done a lot of. But I was kind of looking at their stories, and it's just like, Einar lost literally fucking everything.
Yeah.
Thorfinn literally has people begging him to come home. He has people looking for him. He's run into Leaf. He ran into Leaf at the end of last season. He was just like, oh my God, you're alive. Please come back with me. Like, we miss you. Your mom misses you. Einar doesn't have any of that shit. And he's still the one that's just like, I want to keep going. And like, I was even thinking about that. Like, fuck, that's kind of powerful in a way of just like, I get Thorfinn is angry. I get why he's angry. Like, he saw his dad taken from him. He was consumed by hatred and revenge. But I really thought it was interesting for Einar, who saw his home, who went through almost the exact same situation. His dad was killed in front of him by Vikings.
Yeah.
And he picked up his life and they continued living. Then different Vikings came back and then killed his mom and his sister and then hauled him off into slavery. And he's got nobody, nothing, nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Thorfinn literally has people looking for him. And in that episode where Einar ran into Leaf, he's just like, man, I wish I had somebody out there looking for me like that. And I don't even know if he's put together that.
He obviously hasn't.
You're
There's no
right.
way.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I thought he was going to notice it in that episode. I thought he was going to
Yeah,
be
me
like,
too.
wait, Thorfinn?
Yeah.
That's what I thought he was going to do. But he was so out of it, he's just like, eh.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's
Slavery
had a lot
do
going on.
that to you.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to me that, like,
Happy Black History Month.
Yeah.
19.
but it was, I was struck by the fact that, like, all things considered, Einar has lost a lot more, and he's the one that's just like, man, we got to keep living.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I would push back and I would say Thorfinn, just because, one, like you said, like all this stuff happened at a young age. You watch your father get killed in front of you, and
Einar too, though.
Einar too, but I guess this in a different way. And after that happens, the person that kills your father takes you under their wing, becomes your father figure, but still is your enemy. That is a complete mind fuck. For like that's literal confusion. Like, what's happening right now? Like, I kind of like this guy and I protect him, but then I gotta get revenge on him. I gotta kill this guy. So the whole time he's going through a mind. As a kid, he's murdering adults, grown people for no, like, he doesn't even know why he's fucking even doing this shit.
Yeah, he's doing it because he made some choices to put him in that situation.
For sure,
He
he
definitely
did.
made the choices to put himself
But
there.
as a kid, does he know the extent of those choices? And that, I think that's where it's kind of messed up. It's like, it shows you that, if you if you raise a kid a certain way at a young age, you can probably raise him to do anything you can raise him to be any type of person you want him to be in a sense. You know, you can make this guy a killer and he'd be like, "What is this? This is how life's supposed to be, right? I'm supposed to do this." It's like, no, you're actually not supposed to do any of this shit. So I feel like for him,
Yeah, because I feel like his dad too, Thor's, was just like, you don't do this.
yeah. So I feel like as a kid, the reason why I would say it was worse because he was in a more of a manipulated state, or to be in a state to be manipulated more than Einar, and it was just like I feel like he doesn't even fully understand what is even happened, the scope of what happened to him. Whereas, yeah, Einar lost his dad at an early age, but then he lost his mom and his sister at a later age, and he kind of understands that stuff a lot more. He's grown. He's kind of lived a lot more life before a lot of his real tragedy. I don't want to say real tragedy, but like his back end of his tragedy hit him. So I mean, it's hard. It's honestly a toss up, to be honest. But if I was fighting back,
tough.
it would be Thorfinn from my end. Brendan?
Well, for me, I'm having a hard time discerning between like the harder time and the harder reaction. And the reason I'm saying that is because Einar never lost the will to live.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? Thorfinn didn't care. Thorfinn was willing to die from that guy with that sword.
Cut his ear off, didn't even flinch.
He didn't flinch. Like, if he would have cut his throat out, he wouldn't have cared. He cut his eye out, he wasn't going to care.
Yeah.
Like, Thorfinn became a truly numb individual. And Einar never did. Like, Einar still feels things. He's still super angry, you know? And so, for me, I don't know which is worse, because I've never been to either one of those extremes, but I have felt numb before, and I've also felt very angry before. And so, if I had to pick the two, I'm going to say I'd rather feel numb. I would rather feel numb because anger, for me, is detrimental to me and everything around me. When I go into a space of numbness, there's just nothing. It's a void. So I would actually say Einar's probably more difficult, only because there's no... Just because you don't see the hope doesn't mean that it's not there. So, like, what's his name? Thorfinn has hope. He just doesn't see it, or he chooses not to see it.
Yeah.
Whereas Einar, there's no hope to see. The only hope that he has been given to him by a sheer stroke of luck by
I
a
gotta
master.
cut down this whole fucking forest.
Yeah, but it's like to have a master that even gives you a path to like owning property is insane.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, I'd say Einar's path is worse because Thorfinn has an entire family waiting for him to take him back in. He has a
He's
king.
missing somebody.
He lost one.
But he has a king, you know what I'm saying, who's like wants him. He has the strongest warriors in the fucking planet that want him on his team. Like, Thorfinn is a desired commodity. He has value in this world. But like Einar doesn't have shit. Nothing. And so for me, I'm like, if I had to pick one of the two situations, I think it would weigh on me heavy to kill that many people, but I'd rather have that weight with the benefit than to have nothing.
Yeah, it's easy to say when you're not doing it as like a 9-year-old, but all right. Jason Ranger said, "I love Brendan's perspective on life."
Yeah.
I don't. But anyways, next.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
God.
It was actually great. It's that I love how we all gave the 3 different perspectives in that sense.
I think he said that while I was talking about the government shit and all that.
Oh,
Yeah, I think he was. So next question. Who would be your favorite non-powered? So I like Thorfinn. Thorfinn is a non-powered anime, protagonist, and just straight up skills, just straight up fighting skills. Who is your favorite non-powered anime character? Pick one only.
Okay.
Pick one only. And yes, you can do Demon Slayer because technically the Ashiras are not.
They're not powered.
They're not powered.
They're just good swordsmen.
Yeah, they're very good swordsmen. Whew, this is hard. This is very, very hard. If I was, I guess for me, I can't give up. I can't say too much because of spoilers. But one of my favorites, or I guess I would say my favorite on this one, because I would like to do a separate show one day to just do all non-powered whatever. Would be Demon Slayer. I love Giyu, man. I love Giyu. Get down. Yeah. I had somebody else in mind I was gonna choose, but. Can I switch? Sorry.
You can switch. It's your pick, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. Captain Levi, man.
Okay. That's a good one. That's good.
I'm gonna go Captain Levi for what he's done, what he's sacrificed.
I hate you. That's what I was gonna pick.
And I was teetering between the two. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But Captain Levi literally has, he gets busy, fucks people up. Literally had people be like, "Hey, that's Captain Levi. That's who we're talking about right there." Yeah, watch out for him. He's dangerous as fuck. But then he's also a good leader. And he doesn't take shit from anybody, and he gets shit done, even though he's handicapped now. He's fucked up, but
yeah.
but But I think for me, he's a man of few words, which is kind of like how I like my kind of character. It's kind of like, yo, just shut up and just trying to get down. We ain't got to be loud about shit. Just fuck people up. And he's super skilled and respected. So as of right now, it'll be Captain Levi for me. Brennan,
I'll take Thor's.
your favorite ever?
Yeah, non-powered. I mean, for me, it's like I was thinking about like Mugen from Shamar Champloo.
What about Orga?
I was about to say, I feel like you talk about a lot of other characters. You never talk about Thor's. So it's like,
For some reason, I was like,
thinking action only?
yeah, I was thinking action.
Yeah.
It don't got to be that.
Nah, yeah, yeah, Rob, fine. You know who it is, man.
It is Orca?
Yeah, it's Orga.
Yeah.
Orga from just for reference, in case you don't know, we did watch the show together. Iron Blood Orphans. Orga is the main one of the main protagonists for that show, the leader of the group, Tekkaden. I have his banner hanging on my door in my office right now. I have his jacket that I also wear.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Orga. And the reason it's Orga, as I'm sure you guys already know, is that I'm a student of leadership. I'm a fan of being the person that you say you are and backing up your words. And there's very few people that do that more than him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. King Mike Hall said, King Prince Boji.
Hey, Boji has 2 J's in it, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Bam, right?
Yep.
Boji.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, that's a
That's
great
a
choice.
great choice.
Boji's a bad motherfucker.
Yes. Rob.
You know what it is.
Who?
It's fucking Reagan.
Yeah.
It's Reagan from Mob Psycho,
Yo,
man.
I thought, just so you know, I had a brief thought about Movement Rider. Just so you know.
Movement Rider would have been a good
yeah,
choice,
yeah,
too.
yeah. Right, that mic so
Reagan
hard.
is amazing. I agree. I love that character.
I love Reagan.
You know what's funny? I didn't think about that for you, but it makes sense.
He cracks him up.
He
Yeah.
makes me laugh so much. I saw the clip over the weekend of the Salt Punch from season 1 of Mob Psycho, and it's still one of the greatest moments to me in anime. I fucking love that. That shit is so good.
He's so funny.
He's just throughout the show. He's got so many great moments. He makes the show for me in a lot of ways. So I gotta go with Reagan. He's one of the funniest anime characters in anything for me. Period.
And I remember you said multiple times that Reagan and Gohan are like your 2 favorite, pretty much.
Yeah,
anime
they're
characters,
pretty
right?
much my 2 favorites.
The thing is, like that show would be so much better if there was more Reagan in it for season 3.
Yeah,
I
it
agree.
would be. I know for me, the reason why I picked Captain Levi too when I switched to him, because I watch a lot of his clips. I go rewatch the Beast Titan fight at least like once a week.
He's amazing.
It's
No,
a
I was
t-
going to
yeah,
bring that
it's
up
dope.
earlier when
Yeah.
we were talking about animation. Is like that Beast Titan fight is considered one of the greatest.
When I got into
animation-
breakdown,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Incredible.
considered one of the greatest animated sequences in anything ever.
Yeah.
Because of
Yeah.
the perspective shift.
It's
because of
wild.
the motion blur.
Yeah.
Because of all these things that they were able to accomplish with just 24 frames in a second is insane. You
Yeah.
know, because it's like everybody has the same starting point, 24 frames. Put whatever you want in there.
Yeah.
And it's like what they did with it. Fuck.
Nuts.
crazy. All right, so we met Snake, punched dude in the face. We met Badger and Fox. What animal is your mercenary code name, Rob?
All right, my mercenary. I'm gonna go with my animal mercenary code name. I'm gonna go with Jaguar because I like cats, and these cats are way bigger than just like a house cat.
See, he's being petty as shit. He's being so fucking petty. That's why he didn't look at me the whole time he fucking said
I
that. You
knew.
piece of shit. You're a piece of shit.
Well, because like I could have gone with like I don't know, like mountain lion. There's a lot of big cats out there. Tiger is like Tiger feels like I don't know. It sounds like too much of like a nickname. Like hey, Tiger. Like
Yeah.
just feels like
Spider-Man? What's something?
Yeah, Spider-Man is exactly what I thought of.
Yeah.
But Jaguar, man, like lone hunters, apex predator, dangerous, smart. You know, I'm going with Jaguar.
All right, Brennan.
Who you got?
We're gonna swing over to Brennan.
Orca.
There we go. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like
But
it.
you wrote with like a lot of you like whales.
Yeah, man.
I was gonna say blue whale.
not orca because it's like blue whales live. They don't. You would think I can go super nerdy here. Let's just say orca. I was about to go. You want me to take it to 10? Because I will.
I mean, you could
Yeah,
we
go
could
ahead.
go with sea wolf or something.
Well, the
you know?
reason I said
I mean, the
orcas
orcas are killer whales for a reason. That's
Yeah.
why they're called that.
Yeah, they're damn near the apex predators of the entire ocean. Like they eat great white sharks' livers out of them while they're alive. So like they're absolutely insane. But the reason I was gonna say not a blue whale is because blue whales don't really hunt. They just kind of like gather krill where they go and they just take huge mouthfuls of them. I like the idea of like the hunting. I like the teamwork that they have. Like if it was gonna be my secondary pick, it would be humpback whales because they do the bubble net fishing and all that. But what I was gonna say, if the first thought I had was like, nah, man, like I want to be in a familial unit because I love people, I love other beings to interact with, and I was like, and I thought about it, I was like, oh shit, no, blue whales are talking all the time.
Yeah.
You know, because they're using the, you know, their singing, quote unquote, is actually them communicating with other whales all across the planet because their voices go so far they don't need to be next to each other to talk.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, yep, that was it. I was gonna say I will be an orca, but also my original career choice is being marine biologist because I be knowing about that shit.
Yeah. I
Hey, wait, Mike Hall knows they flip them. Yeah, that's exactly how they do it. They flip the great white sharks upside down, it puts them to sleep, and then they eat the liver out of them alive.
So it puts them to sleep immediately when you flip them over.
Yeah, any type of I think they're called skates, like anything that's like a stingray, shark, any of those ones that are fish that are like in that same platform. If they go inverted upside down in the water, they go immediately into a sleep.
Bro, that's trash.
So like yeah, it's like. But the
Had to
crazy
do something.
the crazy-
Great whites are cheat code, man.
What you
Yeah,
have to
okay, that's
think,
fair.
what you have to really think about though is how the fuck did orcas figure that out, and then teach it to all the rest of them. Like
Yeah.
that's the craziest part.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they figured it out and taught it to everybody else. So now there's like a place called Shark Island. Like there was like this is where all the great whites gather every year to do all the things that they do. And then like if a single pod of orcas shows up, then there is not a great white to be found. Like the moment the orcas show up, they disappear because
That's
like,
so crazy.
because
that
they hunt
That's
them
wild.
now. Orcas hunt great white sharks, so like great white sharks are not apex predators. They're not even in like food chains anymore. They're not considered apex predators anymore
Wow.
because of orcas.
it's so crazy just to be like like you said, to figure it out. I imagine if a human, if you just got turned around and you fell asleep, that will suck.
That would suck.
I mean, how hard? Can you imagine how hard it is to turn me upside? I am a shark. I live my whole life in the water. I am the apex predator in all the different
Your
environments I
entire
go to.
body is a muscle.
It
Yeah.
is. My entire body's a muscle that's covered in armor and,
my
and
God.
shards. Like, you know, their skin is rough. Like,
Yeah.
you rub up against a shark in the water, it'll make you bleed. Like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Sharks
their
are
scales are sharp.
they're like killing machines, and it's like nothing fucks with them. And then a killer whale is just like, actually, you
Looks
know,
delicious.
You
Yeah.
look delicious, and like they ram them, they run into him and hit him in the side, and they're like, boom, hit him, and then another one of the another orca grabs their tail and holds him
I was gonna
upside
say,
down.
they're probably pretty easy. If you were a whale, it'd probably be pretty easy to disarm one because you just grab its tail. I mean, the shark can't really do anything once you got its tail.
Yeah, but the sharks are as fast as they
Oh,
are,
of course.
so that's the problem. You know, it's like you're not. It's not like, oh man, I can just swim circles around you. It's like, nah, we got to plan this shit, but also we're so good at this that
Yeah.
you have no chance.
Teamwork.
Yeah,
Teamwork.
and sharks don't have teamwork.
Nope.
Yeah. I hate my answer because it's Black History Month, but I would go as gorilla. Because
Gorillas are dope.
they're dope. I was saying because yes, Brennan knows why. I'm sure.
There's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying the reason why I didn't want to, it's like kind of go with the name on Black History Month. Yeah, but anyways, a reason why I didn't.
I don't want to be called a monkey,
Yeah, I don't want to be called a fucking monkey.
porch monkey.
Yeah, exactly. But the reason why I say gorilla though is because I love that it's like when somebody would see me, they'd be like, oh, they wouldn't know that I'm the gorilla. I'm like, yo, the gorilla's coming. The gorilla's coming. I heard he's a fucking monster. And everybody would think that it's gonna be this big motherfucker, and it's gonna be medium-sized old me. Not little old me, medium-sized old me.
Good change up, Keenan. I like that.
So they're never gonna know when the gorilla's coming. They're gonna be thinking they're gonna always be looking for something big and massive, strong as fuck coming through, and it's gonna be literally me coming through and be like, "Yo, where's the gorilla at? We don't even know." And the gorilla just got your ass,
Got him.
got you. Ain't gotta be a big kill either. I'm not gonna just punch you through a wall, needle in the neck, you out of here. Real slick shit. You know what I'm saying?
And real quick to answer Sir
like it.
Spectacular Spider, he asked a question: aren't orcas dolphins? Technically, yes, they are the biggest dolphins.
Wow.
Yeah. Fuck you. He said I'm a 5'6" gorilla. You can kiss my ass, Mike Hall. All right, man. All right, so let's get into our likes, dislikes real quick of Vinland Saga. So Rob, getting back into this recap. Brennan.
I like that we're finally getting back into the action. We're seeing Thorfinn be reawakened. I like that the stakes are starting to be raised and the world is starting to grow. And we're seeing a lot of the hierarchical structure of this world that we're now, because it's a new world. This isn't the same space that we've been in this show.
Yeah.
So I like the way that they're telling that story. But on the dislike side of it, it's still moving slow for me. It's like what I'm here for, to be honest, is to see Thorfinn get after it. Like that's one of my favorite things. Or what's the big guy's name? The big Viking guy with the axe.
Thorkill.
Thorkill. Thorkill. Askeladd's no longer around. I want to see these guys go at it because they're the ones who really fuck shit up, or see somebody else go into beast mode and stuff like that. That's really what I love about this show. The storyline is cool and everything like that. But I feel like what they're doing is building something really great. So my dislikes are just that they're taking their time building it. I think that the amount of farm time that we're having right now, I think we could have accomplished the energy and the feeling and the vibe of what they're going for with less time. But I could be wrong. We'll see what they end up with that. So overall, I give this run a 6,700. I enjoyed it. I would recommend. I'll continue watching it. I'm excited to watch more because I feel like it's going somewhere. It just hasn't gotten there yet, so I've got to be patient.
I like the stretch. You know, maybe because like I said, I'm still from a manga perspective, I'm still kind of like further than this.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah, still further than what I've read is still further than what we've seen so far.
Got you.
And it was so bad that when I'm watching this, it's like they're doing a better job, in my personal opinion. I think some people might disagree. They might say the manga's been better, but like for me, the anime has been 10 times better than the manga in this season. And I've been like watching this, being like, okay, this is not as bad as I remember it being when I was reading it. The son, you know, I don't even have necessarily issue with him anymore for real. Like he's an asshole, but like the fact that he kind of is a little bit of like, all right, I don't even have the gall to really kill like that. I don't really want to do that. I can't put him in Gabby's level. Gabby ruined shit. She ruined people's fucking lives. This guy hasn't fully yet. We're not there yet. That's just what I'm saying. He's not a great character.
I don't. Oh, go ahead.
He's not a great character by any means. But, you know, at the end of the day, I don't hate him nowhere near as much as Gabby. Gabby is still one of my most top hated characters. It was cool to see the Thorfinn Flash. I think all this is necessary because he definitely is. They're building this character development for him and this other guy to be super, super, super dope. And I think like by the time the middle towards the end of this season, I think it's going to still be slow for the next probably 4 to 6 episodes. To be honest with you guys, and then you start to see a little bit of stuff kind of get down a little bit, and then I guess he'll go from there from what I haven't read. So I'll give this a 7,300.
Wow. All right. Yeah. No, I definitely liked. It's gaining steam. I think it's been slow, but we're getting there. I enjoyed these episodes, but I did feel like I looked back and felt like not a lot happened. Even though it was 2 episodes. Essentially they get hauled off, have that experience, and then and then that night he and Thorfinn and Einar have their confrontation. It's essentially all that happens in 2 episodes. Not a lot.
Not a lot.
That being said, there's some really good character moments, both with Thorfinn, and finding out more about himself, and even there's like a lot of subtle moments that I thought were pretty cool. The fact that he didn't thank Peter for healing him, and Einar gave him such a hard time about that, but then later on he thanks Einar for having helped him.
Yes, I noticed that. I
thought that was really cool. Or even just I think the symbolism that they're using of like the fact that cutting down those trees is kind of like the metaphor of all the people that he's killed. That's that force that he's cutting down, and Einar not being good at it because he's never really done it before.
Wow, that's great.
Whereas Thorfinn's an expert. So like that kind of stuff.
Man, I be
is
having
really
those
cool.
thoughts subtly, but I don't think about them outwardly, and I'm mad at you now.
I was like, fuck.
Rob, man, God damn it,
Drop
Rob.
ball by us two.
So it's there's some really cool storytelling going on, but it's not. It's definitely slow. So that being said, I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely going to look forward to seeing what we see from Canute coming up, because I mean we hear just some whisperings in the background. He's got this army that Omar who wants to join into, which I think he still totally sucks. He's fucking pathetic, but whatever. And so we're going to find out, I think, just what he's been up to, and I think that'll be really cool. I'm excited to see what these next steps are, especially if because as you said, Brennan, too, Thorfinn is a desired commodity. And like, God forbid, Canute or Thorkill like wind up on this dude's farm, just because they're passing through, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Exactly.
That could change up a lot. So, it's cool. I'm enjoying it. I've said a lot, but I'll give it a 7,200.
Okay.
Wait, didn't a new episode just come out too?
Maybe, Monday. Yep. So another episode would have dropped today.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta say this real quick before Rock gets back to his recap. Hey man, y'all been on my ass about always wanting all the action. You see, I'm about story too. I like story.
My God.
They want the action. They like, where the action at, guys? I don't mind watching slowness from time to time.
I wonder how long this setup was for him. Like he planned this like 2 weeks ago. He was just like, "Yo, I'm gonna give it a good rating. I
gotta wait. I had to wait until at least episode 3 or 4. And so we're gonna get into Rob's recap for Gurren Lagann episodes 7 and 8. Let's get it.
Yeah. So after allowing the team to get in their clothes after leaving the bathhouse naked. Viral and Kamina and Simon engage in a fight with Viral's new gunman. He fights fiercely to reclaim the helmet, and when Kamina and Simon say he must have come from their base, he brags that their HQ is so much more than a base. And on cue, Gurren Lagann is rocked by a huge explosive round fired by some mountain in the distance that turns out to be some giant gunman / ship / base / capital city called Dai Gunzen, and it's the Beastman HQ that they've been looking for. The ship is captained by one of the 4 lead generals of the Beastman army, Thymilf, and he says that he is there to show them the Spiral King's wrath. Everyone is terrified of this new threat except Kamina, of course, who just wants to fight a bigger challenger. He rushes in to fight, but Dai Gunzen is it's loaded with guns. It's all over the thing, and it just lights up Gurren Lagann badly, damaging it. Simon watches and in shock as Kamina's fighting spirit causes Gurren Lagann to repair itself and get back into the fight. Running through the explosions, they engage with Viral on the deck of Dai Gunzen, and they are able to defeat Viral, but when they turn to face Thymilf, he uses the massive arms of Dai Gunzen to smash Gurren Lagann and start pulling it apart. Yoko, Liron, and the others watch in the distance, but are suddenly surrounded by other gunmen launched from the base, and it seems like they are doomed, but another mysterious golden gunman appears and makes short work of them. Another blue gunman appears and then blasts Dai Gunzen, freeing Gurren Lagann from its clutches, and the pilots come out on the comms, and it turns out to be the missing older brother of the black siblings, Kitan, leading a brigade of stolen gunmen piloted by the resistance fighters from Yoko's colony and some others who were inspired by the stories of Team Gurren Lagann. Kitan and the others deal with the enemies launched from Dai Gunzen, while Simon and Kamina finish off the base. They seem completely outmatched until Simon develops a plan. They lead the massive base into a trap and use cleverly placed explosives to send it falling down a cliff. Viral and Thymo fall, swearing revenge when the sun rises again, and Gurren Lagann walks towards its newly assembled army. That night, we meet the other pilots as Kamina tells them the new plan is to capture Dai Gunzen for themselves and rename it Dai Gurren, the new name of their team. There we go. Spirits are high, but Yoko is worried they might have bit off a bit more than they can chew. When she goes to talk with Kamina about it, a volcano explodes in the distance, and he becomes even more sure that this is the battle that he was destined to fight. Yoko goes to talk with Simon next, bringing him coffee and encouraging him in their fight. He thinks about telling her that he has feelings for her, but before he can, in the end, he ends up keeping it to himself. Yoko visits Liron next, and he's like souped up of her gun for her, and she says she worries about their plan of attack. Gurren Lagann is going to split up so Simon can take control of Dai Gunzen, but that means Kamina will likely be fighting recklessly on his own and with less power. She goes back to Kamina that morning to bring him coffee as well. She tells him to be careful. She kisses him, and he pulls her in for another kiss and says he plans to repay her 10 times over when the fight is done. From the bushes, though, Simon sees the kiss and is heartbroken. He runs back to Lagann and boo-hoos over Yoko, but Kamina soon appears and tells him, hey, the fight's about to start. The group gathers and they go over the plan one more time, and with that, they march out to their gunmen, while those without them, other than Yoko, stay behind to protect the camp. The group is confidently marching into the fight and feels good about their chances, except for Simon, whose heartbreak seems to be causing power issues for Lagann. Soon they reach the site of the battle, and the fight is on. Dai Gunzen fires endless rounds of bullets at them, while the resistance fighters return fire with boulders and bullets of their own. They take care of the rank-and-file gunmen, but Viral is a much more capable opponent, and he engages with Kamina 1v1 and wonders where Simon is. Just then, Simon emerges from a blind spot and merges with Dai Gunzen, starting to take control. However, his heartbreak is still affecting Lagann's potential, and he struggles to take over completely. The battle rages on, and Kamina runs over to Lagann, ripping its roof open and punching Simon to shake him from his self-doubt. Simon remembers what is at stake, and Lagann goes into overdrive, capturing the massive Beastman capital, and Kamina runs back to his Gurren. Just as he enters, though, he is rocked by a huge energy blast. Thymilf emerges from his own personal gunman, and he and Viral team up to shred Gurren and beat the fuck out of Kamina. Team Dai Gurren looks on in horror as Simon screams, and as he does, there's a surge of power. The Beastmen are ejected from Dai Gunzen, and the volcano erupts. Eruption surges. As everything goes berserk, Kamina comes on the comms and says that they need to finish the fight. Relieved to see that his friend is still alive, Simon regains control and tells the fighters to get aboard the ship. Thymilf isn't done yet, though, and resumes his attack. Knowing they must team up, Simon disengages from the ship and merges with Kamina to make Gurren Lagann, and with a surge of fighting spirit, they are able to destroy the enemy gunmen, and with numerous drill attacks, and finally gore Thymilf's gunmen, killing him. The fight over, Kamina rests and tells Simon that, hey buddy, I'll see you later, and quietly passes away. And though the fight was won, Team Dai Gurren is struck with the tragedy as rain falls around them. And that is where we end episode 7 and 8 of Gurren Lagann.
Oh man. Recap, Rob. Thank you again as always. I'm actually going to swap these questions.
Go for it.
Probably swap our questions in general and put yours first, mine second, third, fourth. Thank you again as always. So after Kamina's death, man, who do you think is a better leader of a mech resistance, Kamina or Orga from Iron Blooded Orphans, Rob?
It's interesting because I think if I had to choose a leader, it would be Orga. But Kamina was out here technically undefeated. Technically did all he said he was going to do. Went out and went up against, did everything.
Yeah.
He went out there and granted, he put his life on the line. It was a costly win, but he got the win. Dude was out here undefeated, believing in his team, leading them to victory. I'm going to put Kamina.
I'm not mad at that answer. I think it really depends on your team, right? I feel like I can fit well with Kamina or Orga, but I understand some people don't like, I don't know if you know who David Goggins is, but like David Goggins is like a, military dude that, did like the Navy SEALs thing, like more than anybody, broke records, right? But he's kind of like aggressive, like, hey, stop being a bitch, get the fuck done. Like kind of like a Gary V, like stop whining, bitch, get it the fuck out. Oh, and some people can't handle that type of like, that's kind of how Kamina is to me. It's just like, yo, stop being a bitch, fucking man up, fight, beat his ass. We're gonna get it done. And if you can't handle that type of leadership, you're gonna be like, you're gonna either like fall in that and be like, I ain't dealing with this guy. This guy's yelling at me, or you're gonna step up to the plate. I feel like I can do both for Kamina and Orga. I think personally, I would lean more towards Orga because I know I can deal with both, but I feel like most people can't deal with that side of like a Kamina. Even though you're right, he's undefeated. He's technically undefeated 100%, but I feel like most people can't take that type of leadership skills or leadership style from Kamina. I think they're gonna be like, like if you got kind of like not weak-minded people, but like softer people, be like, man, why is he yelling at us? I don't like when he yells at us like this. Like, yo, it's to motivate you. I don't really need that.
He got it out of Simon though.
Simon he did, but I feel like Cam, if somebody's calling you a bitch and step it up, would you be to be like, all right, I'm set up, or are you gonna be like, bitch, don't fucking talk to me this way?
I would leave.
And Cam is a great asset.
Cam, I'm gonna start yelling more.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like Brennan can talk to me a certain way and probably even be more assertive and aggressive with me, and he'd be like, all right, I know Keenan's not gonna budge really for real from this, but he might not talk to like Cam that way because it's like, all right, I know.
Nah, man, Cam gives the best hugs, bro. You can't yell at him.
If I'm saying, so you're like, all right, so Cam's hair is too locky. I can't. It's too long.
Locky?
I can't. It's like it's saying because they flow with it like I guess isn't that the white guy locks? That's what they call it.
You want to call it locks?
No.
Oh, all right.
Sorry, man. Black History Month.
Black History Month. All right. I dropped the ball on that one.
Don't put that on me.
He's like, don't put me in this. But that's what I'm saying. He would switch up his style and make it different for Cam than he would with me. You know what I'm saying? And some Kamina can't switch. He's only one gear. So I feel like Orga will be better for the majority of people. Brennan.
Well, I think you got to look at leadership from a really specific standpoint. Is that Orga and Kamina came into leadership in completely different ways.
They did.
Kamina was just like, I believe there's more. We can do better. Let me punch through the roof into the sky. Like he's purely inspirational just because he wanted to be inspirational. They could have stayed in that hole and lived the rest of their lives and had no problems. But he was just like, we're gonna go further. Whereas Orga, they were child soldiers who were trained to kill in a group and were put into a situation where they were meant to die. And he stepped up to the occasion and saved all of his friends' lives. And so I think it's just different. They have different styles of leadership, but also different reasons to be leaders. Orga was forced into this position, whereas Kamina, like that's just who he is. If I was to pick who I would want to be my leader, we both know who I'm gonna pick.
I know.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna pick Orga. Because of the thing. Like the thing is not the thing. We'll never know how far Kamina could take it. But the thing that made Orga special to me is that he understood the greater good and the wider cause, which I don't think Kamina did. Kamina understood the concept of like, if you believe, you can achieve. Whereas Orga definitely believed that because they wouldn't be alive if you didn't believe it.
Right.
But for him, he's like, I'm here for sustainability. So he started building an organization. They had a name, they had branding, they had offices, they had money. You know what I'm saying? They had organization to the things that they were doing. They had accountability.
Right.
They had a team. Whereas with like Kamina, he's just like, hey, we'll figure it out. Like let's just go that direction. Why?
Forward.
The wind blew. And it's just like he's a dreamer more than he's more
because he got it done.
Well,
he
the thing
got
is
it
he
the fuck
did.
done, like
Did get it
Rob
done.
said.
He got it done, but so did Orga. You know what I'm saying? Orga saved their lives. That's the first thing he
To a
did.
point.
You really gonna do this right now?
Yes.
Like Orga was put into an impossible situation.
I got to be honest. I completely asked this question to just.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
a dick. You
Poke
just
at
wanna,
you.
Yeah, I know you did. You just want to troll me, and I don't care. I'm a student of leadership. We can go there all day. Orga is a better leader, objectively, than Kamina because he's more believable. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have, like you guys were just saying, will be turned off by Kamina's reckless optimism. You know, we're just like, let's, you know, like we already made it to the surface. Now to the moon.
Yeah, he's
You
put a
know
lot
what
of
I'm
people at
saying?
risk too. Like he literally could have got. If there was an anime plot armor, everybody else would be dead on the side.
Oh, definitely.
From Kamina,
Yeah, the
for
way
sure.
the way he charges into things blindly, just with this confidence that doesn't make any sense. I'm a huge fan of confidence, but when it borders insanity, fuck that. And that's Kamina's on that line. Like he crosses it. That's why he's dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why,
Episode 8,
and also,
he's fucking
that's
dead.
why he died so much faster than Orga did. He died so fast because
Yeah, because he was
terrible
leading
leader.
from the front lines. He wasn't in the back.
That's because he's a
calling
bad
shots.
leader.
Because he's not a coward, right?
No, I'm saying leading
I
from
like
the
my
front
leaders in
line.
the front too, right, Rob?
He was right there.
For the record,
Gurren Lagann.
Orga led from the front lines in the first
I
battle.
know. I'm fucking.
That's what I'm
with
saying. Kamina is nowhere near the leader Orga is, but I still do respect him as a leader.
Right.
Of course.
Well, side note, some I heard that was really funny was just like because you've heard the term like doing something over and over and expecting different results is the definition of insanity, and somebody's like that's literally the definition of practice, doing something over and over again and expecting different results. I thought that shit was crazy.
Wow.
Um,
What depends what you're practicing? 'Cause
I mean,
No.
usually if you're
You can
practicing,
practice
you
in
get different results.
Yeah.
If you get different results, then it's not.
I think
what-
that, I think
that's the point of the what he's saying.
You just do something over and over again until you get better at it, expecting different results. I'm going to be better at it than I was last time.
And they're saying that's crazy, but it's technically not crazy.
Well, I mean,
because
I also
do get
say that,
different
you know,
results.
I'd
It's
say
different. It's
I
just
would-
food for thought.
I would say Kobe Bryant was a little insane, but I'm a huge fan of that insanity. I want Mamba mentality all
But he
around
also,
me.
but he also improved in certain areas too, doing that type of stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he was
Yeah.
still insane. Like he wake up every day at 4 a.m. and go work out for 3 hours until the workout started.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
people
what
who
I'm
are really
saying?
people who are really good at stuff could be deemed like if there's some. I mean, it could
He had a
not be
level
right.
of it. Yeah, Michael
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of insanity there.
For sure.
and
I'm
those
sure
were those-
LeBron got it too. Like his
Yeah.
longevity.
Yeah, those why those guys are different, are considered different levels, and you always hear the stories about them being
Built
completely different. Yeah,
he's built different.
built different. So next question: how long would Gurren Lagann last in the Iron Blood and Orphan world? Like I'm talking about the
Man,
just
you
like
just-
fighting in the mech
Whose
world.
question was that?
Mine.
Okay.
Why?
If it was Rob, I was about to just go all the way in.
now, after honestly, even though we still need to watch a lot more anime, I mean a lot more of Gurren Lagann, of course. In watching it, seeing them when they start to speed up and fight real fast, I was like, wait a second, this is. Because at first I was like, oh, they're getting washed, easy work, they're getting washed, they're out of here. But then also too, knowing that like pretty much their feelings can kind of control their mech a lot more. I don't remember how much it did that in the other mech shows like that. I feel like maybe Evangelion they kind of did it a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, not
yeah,
as
maybe
much.
a little bit.
But essentially, the more willpower you have, the more willpower your mech has. And
And the kids on Iron Blooded Orphans had will and spades. You can't.
yeah, and if their mechs went with that too, it'd probably be different. They probably wouldn't be dead. But
All I'm saying is there's nobody in the show that stands up to Mika. When that motherfucker got hungry and was like, it's time to get your prey, there is nobody on this show that is coming near that motherfucker.
so you're even saying that even knowing that the end result of the show.
I don't remember all of it. I'm just saying where we are right now, from what I just watched.
Yeah.
I'm saying right now, there's no one that he gets anywhere near standing up to Mika.
That's fair.
As well as like the other high-end Gundams. Like these motherfuckers, you guys remember the firepower that's on these things? Like all the things
They
that
were
we're
pretty
seeing in this
crazy,
show,
yeah.
all the things that are on this show, like there's like their projectiles aren't even close. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's somewhat true, but I feel like just even after watching the speed of some of these ones seem like they're a lot faster.
Not faster than Iron Blooded, bro. You remember when Mika like fought that thing?
I'm going off. I guess
That
how
was
it's
crazy.
I'm going off how it was animated. How it was animated, it looked like they were literally moving like Dragon Ball Z quickness at one point.
But that's the same thing with Iron Blood
We didn't see that in Iron Blood Offense. It wasn't moving that type of fast.
Okay, hold on.
For what I remember.
We about to jog
But
your
also
memory.
said how long would they last in Iron Blood Orphans world? Now I think they would. I don't know if I think they might get booted out at that end battle with all of them too. But I think they would have lasted to the end. They would have been that 3 mechs in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah, Rob.
Really tempted to be a troll here, but
Do it, man. Fuck that. Be
really,
a troll,
really tempted
man,
to be a
for the
troll.
content.
Because there was part of me that was just like, man, if they get that healing factor, whatever they get to fucking use, like that was very convenient. I was like, they could last a long time. But that being said, that healing, like this, because essentially they're I didn't really talk too much in the recap. They got so badly damaged by Dai Gunzan, but like they were able to basically repair the ship with just, again, their will, which I was just like, how do you beat that?
Yeah.
But the one catch is that after the battle, once they unmerged or whatever, that damage came back, which is just like, that is where I think that would be their Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Where the army, I forget the name. What was the name of in Iron Blooded Orphans, the name of the army? Tekkadan? Yeah, Tekkadan. They would have ran out of resources.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't know where Leron is getting these supplies to be repairing them all the time in the middle of the desert after their fights.
Yeah,
but like
that's real.
They would have been real effective in that first fight, and then I think they would have been like, well, shit. I mean, if we ever get this repaired, then we'll be back in there. But
they're never even showing how, like, they're being like he's even knowing how to do this shit.
It's getting done. It's just it's magical realism. His robots that got destroyed 3 episodes are back. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hilarious. So you don't think they'll?
I don't think they'd last. They would not have made it to season 2.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Okay.
They'd have been.
They're getting washed.
They also have a lot more innocence than the people in Tekkadan. Like Tekkadan, like these are the kids that
They would have been carving their name into that stone right next to biscuits.
Yeah. No, straight up. Like these kids, they're fucking. You know how violent that show is. It's just like for even like if you just take
it's
it
a different tone. It's a
different tone, but also they're like, you know what? We're fighting. I'm just gonna grab you and fly into space. Like ball game.
Yeah.
My mobile armor can go into space. What about yours?
Yeah,
you know,
we don't know
We'll
yet.
find out.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Find
dead.
out.
Yeah. So how do you feel?
Oh yeah, I mean, I said like
Will they last? That's what I'm asking. Not will they beat,
I think they could
Mikazuki.
actually be a part of the show because if you remember, there's a lot of cannon fodder in Iron Blooded Orphans.
That's true.
And so like the ones that are like they didn't get their mobile suits, the ones that are in those little tanks, like they be along that level. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, really?
Except for the actual Gurren Lagann guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. With Gurren Lagann, that particular
That one? Oh, I mean,
yeah.
they would be. I think they would be along the average like character whose name you know.
Lagann could last longer if Simon's able to like merge with shit.
Mm-hmm.
If he's able to do that same technique,
Yeah.
he might last a while.
Yeah,
Kamina
he might be.
He's out of there?
Kamina's out of there. He wouldn't have lasted 8 episodes. I'll tell you that.
No.
he wouldn't last 8
No,
episodes.
there's no way.
Hilarious.
If they were merged, they might have lasted 8 episodes. But I'm thinking like you think about these battlefields and how many people are dying in Iron Blood and Orphans. Like for me, like they're an average mobile suit in that show.
So Kamina would have just been a loud character in the first 3 episodes. Would have been
We
dead.
probably never would have heard his voice, but the death gargle.
Ah!
That's all we
Everybody
would've
stood
heard.
up, get out of my way. I'm going to charge the line.
Yeah, that'd be
And we
it.
had to
That'd be
bury
it.
our best friend, Kamina.
Because you're fighting grown ass adults too, you know. It's like these people are like warmongers.
Oh, that's fucking great. That's great. It's so good. All right, next question, man. With Kamina gone now, do you think Simon will make a move on Yoko? And would he be wrong to do so?
Wait, what? Say it again.
With Kamina gone, do you think Simon will make a move on Yoko?
Oh, I will not speak
girl.
on this.
Oh, yeah, you can.
And would he be wrong for doing so? Rob.
I think he will. I think he will do that. I think he's gonna try to move in, which is interesting because like it made me laugh, like because they definitely I thought built up a lot the relationship between Kamina and Yoko and like showing that they had kind of a will they won't they, and literally Simon has just been staring at her boobs for like 8 straight episodes, and when he was thinking back I'm like, oh man, I love her so much. He's just thinking about her boobs over and over again.
How old is he? Secondly in this show.
He seems like he's maybe like 13, 14, which is like understandable for somebody that age. But for him to have such heartbreak over that, and it's literally or physically.
And Kamina is probably what, like 18, maybe 19?
I'm assuming like Kamina and Yoko are probably like 18, maybe early 20s. But that being said, would he be wrong to do so? I bet Kamina would be like, hey man, get in there, little bro. Like, do your thing. Or he would be like, go ahead, man. You got to be a man out there. You know what? You picked a good one.
It says he's 18. It says Kamina's 18.
I think he literally, if he
Literally get in there.
if he survived, he would have been like, "Come on, man, you're my brother. Come on, let's get in here."
the phrasing, Rob.
I'm with Rob on this one. I think Kamina would have been like, "Yo, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none." I think that's literally the song he's playing. The song he's playing, like, "Yo, bro, it ain't no fun," and he's just like, "Come on, dog, I'm telling you." And if she's with it, he's. Come on, yeah. He's not. I don't think he's tripping on that. I think Kamina would have been like, yo, she's dope. I like her. we kiss, but he would be like, yo, there's other girls out here too that I kind of want to get down with.
Me and Yoko have an agreement.
Yeah, exactly. But he's Olga, right?
Rob,
Olga had plenty of
I
women,
hate you.
right?
I hate you.
He did.
I hate you, Rob.
He had all those other sisters.
You know,
on
those
him.
other sisters, whatever. That would have been Kamina.
Good
Same
Lord.
thing.
Good
Ain't
Lord,
no fun, man. You said you can't speak on it. I'm assuming. I mean, they're setting it up for them to probably. Either,
It seems like they are.
yeah.
I wouldn't even know.
He wouldn't know.
No, that's so funny. All right.
God damn it, Rob.
So in Gurren Lagann, last question. In Gurren Lagann, the beasts have taken over. Pretty much. You know, when it comes to like the little the mechs and stuff like that. If animals took over, who do you think will be leading and who will be like at the top of their food chain? Who will be like their leader? If the animals actually started to take over our world and pushed us kind of like, in a sense, underground, or they took over. I guess you know. They're now the apex predator or whatever.
Are we giving animals like human level intelligence? And
Yep,
like,
all that.
Okay.
Yep, all that. Who'll be at the top? Man, this was hard for me to answer because I feel like I don't necessarily know how much when it comes to the intellect of like a lion or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I would love to say elephant because I know they are smart, but it's just like I just feel like I don't know how much
Elephants are definitely smart.
Yeah. King my house says whales easy. I don't know why I'm going back. I don't know how smart gorillas are, but I feel like gorillas are kind of really close to like human in a sense where it's like
I was kind of thinking that from
Yeah,
I'd
like-
go more orangutan vibe if you're going for like high intelligence.
But if that's
okay.
why I asked, like, if we're just level setting the playing field to
'Cause-
all have human level intelligence.
yes, yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, I would say to me, I would say gorilla. If you give them the Hulk intelligence on top of the strength that they already have, they're essentially a version of the Hulk in a sense.
because I'm with you, Cam. Like orangutans are, I think
And they're powerful too.
they're powerful, and I think they are more intelligent than
Yeah.
gorillas currently.
Mhm.
But like if you put them at even, like gorillas are fucking strong as
Oh,
shit,
yeah,
man.
they-
Super strong.
Yeah.
They just rip you in half.
So
Sorry, anyway. I don't
no,
mean to
go
step
ahead.
on
That's
your
pretty much my answer. It will be the gorilla at the top of that chain,
Hmm.
pretty much running shit. Be like, all right, y'all listen to me, or y'all listen to us, and y'all pretty much we're like the presidents of this shit, and y'all kind of under us and listen to what we do and how we got to keep these fucking humans in check.
Yeah. Gorilla probably would have been my first choice, but to switch it up, keep it different, I'm going to go with hippopotamus, if only because they kill more
Yeah.
humans than literally any other animal
That's
on
very
planet
true.
Earth
Yes, yeah.
currently right now to this day. So they are deadly. They are huge. And
Fast.
they're fast in land and on water.
Yeah.
And as somebody pointed out, like they don't even eat meat. They just kill us because they just can.
Yeah, it's territorial.
It's fuck you energy from hippos. They will fuck up anything, and they just like because. Not even because they want the food, just because they don't like looking at you. So I would say hippos they had the killer instinct, they had the aggression, they had the power, and they're versatile, land and air. That'd be a problem.
That's scary because
Or not land and air, land and sea.
they already
Flying
don't-
hippos would be another.
Oh,
thing.
that'd be crazy. But they already don't fuck with us. Like they kill us just because they're like, you know what? We don't even really like y'all motherfuckers like that.
Get out of here.
Yo, so if they got in charge, it's like, yeah. Now we here with
We've
the
been
two?
doing this for a long time.
Oh, it's a wrap, bro. We're out of here,
We're
dog.
done.
If hippos ran shit, it's a wrap for us, bro. I'm underground, man. I'm eating slugs. Fuck it, man.
Man.
What about like spiders or mosquitoes? They also
Oh.
kill more. I mean, they
Horrifying.
Mosquitoes kill more people
if
than
they had the
anything.
human intelligence,
That would be scary too.
That
if you
would
think
be.
about it
if
because
they
they're so
knew
small.
how powerful they were,
That
I'd
would
say,
be.
I would say even worse than spiders would be ants.
Yeah, because there's
more
so
ants.
many.
Yeah, there's so many. There's more ants on the planet.
and they
than
already
anything else.
have a pretty high level hive intelligence.
Yeah, they have hive intelligence, but
And they
now
already-
they each individually have that on top of
Exactly.
the hive intelligence. They would take over everything.
Mhm.
They'd be like, "Oh, that's crazy. This is how y'all survive. Y'all
There's-
sleep every night. Oh, that's great. We don't do that." You
When
know?
don't sleep?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But how would you think they would be able to take over animalistically though? Like when it comes to like other animals, like if they
They'd swarm them. And
like
they
a
would know how-
gorilla.
Yeah, you could easily. If you had a poisonous enough, like say spiders, poisonous
I'm
enough
sorry.
spider would bite you and you'd die, and they would die.
Ants
Yeah.
sleep for 8 minutes every 12 hours.
And like a swarm of ants would take down anything.
Yeah, bullet ants, like literally one of the
Have you
most
ever
painful
seen
bites on
Have you ever
Earth.
seen bullet ants?
No, they're huge, aren't they?
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah.
Like the first night in the jungle, we were staying in this little jungle lodge, and in the middle of the night, I heard just like a loud slap, really loud slap. I was like, we turned the light on. I was like, what's going on? And And my man was like, "Oh, I heard something crawling, so I stomped on it." And we looked down there, and it's a bullet ant.
Oh my
And I'm
god.
like, "Bro, if
How
that-
big was it?
Oh, bro, it was like this big.
Oh,
What's that, like 3-4 inches?
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 inches.
Yeah.
Like they're huge. They're huge. They're terrifying. And the worst part was they were everywhere. Like it wasn't just like, oh man, if you see a bullet ant, be scared. At first, I was like, that's what they were saying. And then we got out there, and it's like, oh, there's one shit. There's one shit. And it's just like everywhere you're going, there's just there. And like they
And
don't
attack.
huh?
They attack.
No,
or
they just be walking, just like
Oh.
they're just like other ants. They're just
Yeah.
walking, but it's like they can fuck you up if you get in their
Yeah,
path.
isn't it the most painful bite?
It's one of the most painful
yeah.
bites in the animal kingdom.
Yep.
That's why they're called bullet ants,
Really?
Yeah.
because the
It's-
reason
Yeah.
it feels like being shot by a bullet.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you get hit, you're stung by one.
Yep.
Oh,
But they weren't even
shit.
close to the scariest things in the jungle. Not even close. Like, have you heard of fertile ants? I hadn't. You ever heard that name before?
Sounds familiar.
not at all.
What's it? What is it?
It is a series of snakes, poisonous snakes in the jungle. There's so many of them that they don't even know what to call each individual, and so they just grouped all these.
Oh yeah, I remember.
They
you talking
grouped
about
all
this.
these snakes into one category called fertile ants, which means if they bite you, you die. And there's a bunch of them. And the thing is, they said when they did our safety meeting, they were like, "All right, cool. So if a fertile ant bites you, here's what you have to do.
Pray.
Well, first of all, there's a high probability you're going to die because you're going to die within about an hour of being bit by one, and we probably can't get you to a hospital within an hour because you're in the middle of the jungle. We'll do our best. But the only chance you have of survival is to get to the hospital is you have to grab that snake. So if it bites
Yeah,
you,
so
you have
they
to
can
grab
make
and
an
bring it with
antidote.
you because even if we get you to the hospital and we don't know what kind, we can't synthesize the antidote, the antitoxin.
Oh, wow.
So if we don't have the toxin, we can't synthesize the antitoxin. So you have to have the snake and get to the hospital within an hour. And guess what? We saw a bunch of those motherfuckers too.
Man, fuck
And it's
the
like
jungle,
it was
bro.
instant death. You're just like, I remember one of them, like I was climbing up this like mountain thing, and there's like this little cave thing inside of it. I remember like going past it and like looking inside of it, and there was a fertile ant looking at me. And it was far enough away that it wasn't gonna like do anything, but I was looking at it, I was like, I've
could-
never in my life.
It could change his mind at any moment.
Yeah, but for me, I've never in my life looked at something and be like, I truly feel like I'm looking at mortality.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like I was looking at. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
And
It,
if
can-
you
it,
were,
can- it can end here.
Huh?
It can end here. It can just end right
Yeah.
now.
yeah, like if that snake decided like, you're not gonna be here tomorrow. Like it would have been over. Like I would have had to jump off the mountain if it came after me, or get bit by the snake and try to grab the snake and get on a helicopter and try to survive. Or cut my arm off
Jesus.
and then try to
Christ.
survive that. I don't know.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle.
They had a
man.
sword they had a big machete just for that. They didn't
our
tell
snake
that in the safety
machete.
meeting, but they like the actual way to save you from a fertile ant is to remove whatever part of you got bit.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. Happy
Fuck
Monday.
that.
Happy
Fuck
Monday, guys.
The jungle,
Happy
bro.
Monday.
And you went to that shit just to have fun, bro?
I didn't know any of that. They didn't tell me any of that shit until I was already there. Until I already signed the contract and got my first payment is when they told me we had the first safety meeting.
After you just took a good about it.
I'm just saying, like,
The
y'all
money's
didn't know
great.
that. Y'all
Wow.
didn't know that shit, did you?
No.
I even did research on the jungle, but people don't go into the parts of the jungle that I was in, so there was no research to look
Yeah,
into.
you were looking for Indiana Jones buried treasure.
I went into places that people have literally never been before. Like they're like people have
And
never been
never
here.
come back from.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people who have been here didn't come back. So it's just like, yeah, that's where we're going. It was ridiculous. Good times, man.
Man, fuck that. All right, man. All right, Gurren Lagann, episode 7 and 8, bro. That shit is wild. And what do we think? Likes and dislikes and scores for this one. Rob.
Listen, this was a great couple episodes. I thought this was really fun. They finally brought the stakes. They upped it. They brought the action. They made the plot and the story meaningful. Because I just wish they'd gotten here a little sooner. Granted, it would have felt a little fast to lose Kamina like episode 4 like this, but it just the episodes in the middle, it just felt like filler, to be honest. And so it felt good to see this going on and seeing how big, get a taste of like how big the Beastman army is, and like, okay, this is one of 4, like, so there's 3 other dudes out there like this that they're gonna have to deal with. And it was cool, and I thought the emotional beats of the story worked. You know, both with, we were talking a little bit before the show. We were just like, as soon as Yoko and Kamina kissed, I was like, he's done.
It's a wrap.
Too many good things are happening for this dude right now. It's done. But I really enjoyed it. The animation was good.
was.
The action was great, and it was pretty funny. And I'm interested to see where it goes from here, especially now that, like, I think obviously, you know, in retrospect, even it made sense why they spent so much time with Kamina in these episodes to really make that his lost land. And
Yeah.
it's definitely an instance where it does feel like we lost the main character, even though Simon is you know, it's been clear that Simon is the main character of the show. He's not really been the focal point of these last several episodes since like episode 1, really. So, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he changes from here. Obviously, he's going to change a lot, and he's going to have to step it up. And they even say now is when he realizes his destiny and what he's capable of. So we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. I think it's really funny that, you know, sometimes Gurren Lagann has whatever powers it needs to. I wish
super convenient powers.
I wish that was a little bit better defined. If I had to find something to nitpick on, like, okay, they got drills that pop out of literally anywhere as big as they need to be, and it's got healing factors, whatever. But it's a fun show. I wished it got here a little sooner. But I would give these episodes, I'll give it a 6,800.
600. Okay. I was literally talking to Brennan in the office, and I was like, and watching this show, I was like, man, this show doesn't have any stakes.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
And then I was like, oh shit, he's fucking dead. He's out of here. And then me being the sometimes, you know, the spoiler person I am, I looked up, I was just like, all right, he's probably not gone. This is probably just, you know, to get us, you know,
invested.
Sorry. Yeah. He's fucking dead.
He's gone, man.
Oh, he's dead.
As soon as he got hit by that beam, I was like, he's done.
He's out of here,
beam that
bro.
hit him up and under.
Yeah.
Now at that part, I was like, maybe he survives, and they hit him in the back with the sword thing. It was just like the spear, and just crushed him into the ground. It's like, oh well.
Everybody watching that was just like, oh
yeah. It sucked. He suffered the same fate as his dad. He didn't have a chance, man. It sucks. But watching this show, like, it was just like, it felt like, you know, up until this point, it felt like Monster of the Week, like what I always used to say. And I was just like, man, I like I said, there was no stakes. I didn't care for anybody. And then when Kamina died, I was like, damn, I kind of cared about this guy a little bit. It kind of sucks that he's dead. And, you know, and talking to Brendan, so it's like, now the show starts. The show actually starts here. And it's just like, that makes sense to me now. It's like, now this kid, Simon, he has to grow. He has, whatever he's going through, whatever, if he's a bitch. He is. We've seen it. He's a hoe. But he gonna have to now dig up and get that stuff. Common doesn't want me to be a bitch ass motherfucker, so I gotta fight. He gonna have to be that guy now. It can't be said to him. He has to just know that it's in him now. And so now we're gonna have to go forward and see, which he's gonna have it, of course, but we're gonna see his character development go from now being a hoe to like being a dog. I'm sure. So now that's gonna be pretty cool to see. I'm gonna give these episodes 7,200. Brendan.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is everything before this has been like the prologue to the show. That's why me and Ice are just kind of just like, you guys are like, you know, I don't know. Just like, nah, wait for it. Like, wait for it. I watched this show years and years ago, and the one thing I always remember is Kamina dying, because I'm like, oh, shit. Like, that's when the show really got, like, that's like, oh, okay. Like, there's stakes. Like, there's actual stakes. Things matter. And the show didn't feel like that before. You know, and it's like this completely changes the whole demeanor of the show. This is one of the most meaningful episodes of anime to me, in my history of anime, not anime in general, but the anime that I've seen this is one of the early animes that I watched. And so for me to witness a character die like this, it really affected me, because, you know, before this I had watched Bleach, where people don't really die. I was watching Dragon Ball Z, where people die and then get brought back
all the time.
Like all the time. In another world, and you see them in another world. So
exactly. So it's like
they're hanging out.
The idea of like finality or mortality doesn't really exist in a lot of anime. And so I think this was my first experience of anime with mortality in it, and it really changed the way that I matured towards what anime could be. So this episode right here means a lot to me. I'm going to rate it outside of the nostalgia, even though I didn't actually watch both of these episodes. I just kind of quickly reviewed them. So I'm gonna go with a 7,700. But part of that is because I know that the show is really getting started, and I think it's a really big statement piece of episodes. You know, it's just like, it's almost like you said, like it gets you to the point where you're like, man, what's the point? Like is there actually any stakes in the show? Like there doesn't ever seem to be real consequences to anything, you know. And now you're just like, oh. Like now what happens? You know, hopefully Simon just, you know, steps up. What about the rest of the team? What about Gurren Lagann? Like, is that a thing anymore? Like, what happens? Who pilots? You know, that's
a good question.
Is it gone? Like, you know, there's so many things, so many directions this can go. But you know, it's definitely a much darker show now, and I find that I like darker things.
Yeah, and it's funny that this show, the tone did change. Like, it went from like, all right, happy-go-lucky, funny. I wonder, is it going to still stay super comedic like that? I'm guessing it's going to have some type of elements, but like, it seems like it's going to go more towards the darker side.
When you think about it, you know how many episodes there are, and we lost Kamina in 8 episodes. So
others can go in a sense.
There's that, but I'm actually referring more to, like, I'll say this right now. Watching it the second time, seeing the first 8 episodes through the perspective of knowing that Kamine was going to die, it makes everything that he was saying and all the things he did mean so much more the second time around. Because you're just like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, he did say that. Remember I said in the last one, like, yo, he was right about all these things.
Yeah.
He was right. He was right. He was right. His senses were good. He did all these things, and he said all these things. So we'll see if it has how much of an effect it has, you know?
Yeah, we will.
All right. So that is Gurren Lagann, the end of that, episode 7 and 8. Next week we will.
Mike Hall says, "Is it as dark as Agami got killed?"
Don't answer that.
Okay.
That's fair. Next week we will be keeping up with Gurren Lagann, the next 2 episodes, and then the next 2 episodes of My Hero Academia. Keep it going with some 2 dogs out there. Drop your handles. Follow Ice at bitch ass Ice at bitch ass Ice. I say the same thing about you all the time, so don't worry about it. It's the
Damn.
same thing. You're not here. You get bitch ass in front of your name, in front of your.
Wow.
So follow him on there. He said he got
follow him on that. Yeah.
He said he got some new content coming to like his YouTube and stuff like that. So follow him on his YouTube. Brennan,
What's the name of his YouTube?
his YouTube, bitch ass Ice with the afro.
Damn. Hopefully we'll get him some pants for Christmas.
He's not gonna wear them. It doesn't matter.
No.
Get us some
So,
boxer briefs.
I'm at Brennan Produces on the gram.
Oh, see, it's different from the one we've been saying for the past like month and a half. Guys.
Oh yeah, that is a little different.
It sounds a little
Yeah,
bit
keep
different.
guilt tripping me. That'll make me come back.
Rob, you got anybody, man?
Yeah, I'm a shout out just some stuff that I'm listening to that I'm enjoying on my own outside of anime. I want to shout out Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. It's a great podcast that I listen to, especially just because this last episode he put out is called Twilight of the Aesir, and it's literally all about like the age of Vikings and like the 800s and the 900s when the Vikings were doing what we see them doing on Vinland Saga, like raiding England, raiding France, like making all these deals, backstabbing each other. If you're into history at all, if you're into Vikings at all, you like this stuff, Dan Carlin is really, really entertaining. They're super long episodes.
I love Dan Carlin.
But he only puts out a couple episodes a year.
Yep. And
even just listening to this last episode that he put out about Vikings, like gave so much context in a way to Vinland Saga, and like, oh, that's interesting. What aspects of this are real and what aspects are like, obviously indulged and made up. But also, apparently, what I didn't realize is that like where Vinland Saga takes place in the age of like Vikings is like more towards the tail end. Like this is happening like 300 years after like when they were in their heyday sort of thing. So that's kind of interesting. It may point to where the show's going to go as it keeps going. So anyway, yeah, check out Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. It's a good show.
all right, Cam on Stickman Studios, 2Ks, no C in that bitch. Follow him on there. Keenan Baker on every single thing. February 25th, another episode or another show of Bonfire Stories. If you are in the LA area, please come through and support, man. Please come through and support. It's a great show. It's different. It's stories. Ice and myself are hosting that motherfucker, and it's incredible, man. We tell some really good stories like we did last time. Brennan can attest. And yeah, man. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Animeshun. We out.
And so anime was solved forever.